This is Rob Smith. I'm a pro fighter and a coach. I've coached for 10 years, and I've trained people for a little bit too as well in different combative sports over the years. Students, of kids, teens, and adults. I like to make blog videos every now and then, and today I want to talk about how to be a better coach to kids. I do adults sometimes. And I think that, the good times and bad times come. And pretty much with adults, things are going to start out exactly the way they are meant to start out because, they've already came through being a kid. They've already learned a lot of things. So pretty much it's your job to, try to help them get a little bit better in a lot of the things that they do. But I start with the kids because those are pretty much going to be the future of everything you see in adults. The good, the bad, the ugly, whatever you want to call it. That's going to be the future. And no matter how you look at it, the kids are going to be the future lawyers, politicians, of presidents, doctors, whatever you can think of pretty much that you see in an adult, that's going to be them. But unfortunately, they're also going to be the ones that are going to be the drug dealers, the gangs, the killers, whatever. Unfortunately, that's part of life, though. But with that being said, I think that you really shouldn't just write them off and give up on them. Everybody deserves a chance, and I think that everybody can be given a chance, and everybody can pretty much be improved. But the point I really want to make about this blog today is how to be a better coach to kids. Because what you see over the years, and I want to start with wrestling because wrestling is the first sport that I actually tried when I went into high school. I did it for high school. I did it at 2 colleges for a little bit. And wrestling really became a beneficial factor for me in my life. It's really taught me a lot of things and made me who I am today. Not taking much from all the other things I would later do in my life. And I'm very young still, but I've had the privilege of learning a lot more than what I should have learned at a young early age. I think that wisdom is one of the most underrated things that you can ever get in your life or want to get. You should want it. You should enjoy it. You should love it. That is something that we're not all blessed to get. But I started wrestling because over the years, I've helped a lot of kids. And I look and I try to understand them. I take a lot of time out for them over the years. I've done a lot of little things for families, for the communities, whether it was just, doing it for free or making a little money on the side. I enjoy that. I respect that. That's one of the things that, you have to want to do as a coach. But sometimes being a good coach isn't necessarily just making a kid a champion. Because being a champion in athletics and being a champion in life aren't necessarily the same thing. And I've known that, it's great to teach a kid how to be great at athletics. But if one of the things you're missing out on is teaching them respect, discipline, integrity, knowing how to make good choices or better choices, I think that you're kind of robbing them a little bit. You're not really giving them every single thing that you can really give them. And I don't want to take too much away from the parents because, it is a parent's job to be the parent. You can't really tell a parent what to do. It ain't your place to tell a parent what to do. It's not the coach's job to be a parent. I know they didn't sign up to do it, but all the time that you're taking out of that hard work to prepare them for competition, within that time frame, I think that every coach should be taking some time out to making them a better person too as well. Because, being a great athlete doesn't always pay the bills. It doesn't always keep you out of jail. It doesn't always make you keep you from making poor choices in your life. You're going to make those choices based off of what type of person you are, not what athlete you are. And that's the reason why I didn't want to start with adults in this blog, because it's something that's ignored with kids. I don't know why we feel like we have to start teaching kids later, when they start getting into high school and then college. I mean, the damage is already done. If you can start with a kid right away, teach them motivation, inspire them, be consistent, be persistent, and show them the right direction and the right path right away, I mean, you can have gold right there. But I think that I've seen a lot of things over the years where, you'll see, and the percentage kind of, varies, because not all really good athletes turn out this way. But there's a lot of young student athletes that just have bad attitudes. And that's the reason why I wanted to make the blog, because, you can't necessarily 100% blame the parent. Because I think that when the parent sends you the kid, you should be pretty much investing in them. You're receiving not just a job, but you're receiving an honor, an opportunity. And if a parent can trust you, their child, trust is something that we should never, overlook. Trust is something that we should use to benefit ourselves and benefit others. But if a parent is willing to let you, take their child for a few hours and teach them, teaching them can be more than just teaching them athletics, because teaching them sometimes is going to probably be a little bit more than what they're getting taught at home. I don't want to be too blunt, and I don't want to, crap on parents, because I'm sure being a parent is a hard job, because I've trained kids for 10 years. It's a very hard job. But it's an even harder job when you're not taking the time out to tell these kids no. You don't have to always tell them yes. And I think that when you put kids on the pedestal, it hurts them. I think that when you teach them greed, and you teach them ego, and when you teach them all of these other negative things, yeah, that's great for the athletic, basketball, football, wrestling, judo, jiu-jitsu, whatever you want to say, even karate. But remember that those aren't values. Those are pretty much vanity opportunities to become even worse when they come off of the mats or the basketball court, out of the ring, whatever. Once they leave that, just remember that what you taught them, which was supposed to just be for sports, is now going to be something that they're going to use in life, because they were taught that. They know that you taught them that sport. You were good at teaching them that sport. You made them good at this sport. You led them the way. You put them on the path. That everything they do is now going to be right, because you show them that's how they're supposed to do it. And sometimes it's going to hurt, because the parent may be just like you. And then, sometimes it's going to hurt you that the parent may not be like you. It's going to hurt that mostly that if you have a parent that isn't teaching them the right things, and the coach is not teaching them the right things either, that's what's going to make it even worse. I think that when a good parent meets a bad coach, it's almost as worse as a bad parent meeting a bad coach. But if you get a good coach and a bad parent, a good coach and a good parent, you see the difference? Those are the good things. Those are things that are going to value these students. There's a lot of things going on here lately with the teachers these days. Where I live at, a lot of teachers are giving up pretty much. And this isn't something that a lot of people are taking seriously. Again, I repeat, when parents give their kids to somebody, they are trusting you and pretty much giving you an opportunity. And I think that a lot of teachers are quitting because a lot of people are giving up on the teachers. There are bad teachers out there. There's a lot of bad cops out there. There's a lot of bad politicians. But that should never outweigh the good people out there. That shouldn't outweigh the good politicians, the good parents, the good teachers, the good cops. That should never outweigh it. If you outweigh that, then you're living off of negativity. I mean, you're just pessimistic living. That's all you're doing. If you ignore the good people in life, That's pretty much saying that you want to live in an evil bubble, a bad circle, which that's fine. That's okay if that's the way you want to live. But my point in this is that's not the way a child or a kid has to be. I don't think you should be teaching kids vanity, greed, ego, disrespect, lack of discipline. Teaching them that they don't have to respect authority. And even in these little videos you see that's going around on YouTube and World Star Hip Hop and whatever, you can call it whatever website. There's a lot of people trying to enforce these rules on these kids, and yeah, maybe some of them are doing it in a way that you don't see it's good, in a way that you see that is a little rough around the edges, in a way you don't agree with. But just remember that sometimes it takes that one person to lead the whole world. Maybe not just lead, your negative thought. Sometimes it takes that person to show everybody the example. They got to be the example. And if that person's willing to drive for that kid to see reality and to help them see what life is going to be about, I support it 100%. So, that all relays back to being a good coach. It wears me out seeing coaches that are only concerned about records. And, they're pretty much being selfish. They only want to see how far they can get in life, how much money they can make. This can go a lot more with adults. But, again, I repeat, this is for the kids because those are pretty much going to be those future coaches. How you see how that circle keeps going all the way around back to the original source. So I guess you could say that addressing a situation without a solution is just complaining. It's just bitching. So I just want to close the video out with what solutions we can do to help these kids a little bit better. Stop wrecking on the teachers. Stop giving them hell. We need every teacher we can get out there. These teachers are taking poor cuts, poor money to invest in these kids and teach them life. Let them teach the life. And if your kid gets disrespectful, let the teacher handle it in the way that they're going to handle it. If they put their hands on them disrespectfully and they go about it the wrong way, that's one thing. But if they're a little bit tough on them, let them see it. Let them feel it. You are robbing them when you tell them no. Because that is what life is going to be like when they get older. Coaches, if you have a really hot shot kid, but they back talk a lot, they're disrespectful, they're rude, they argue with the referees, they argue with other coaches, they argue with the other kid, they like to be mouthy, they like to do this, they like to do that. Just know you're letting that beast out into the world when you tell them that they're not doing wrong. And when you say, okay, you know what, go out there and do it again if that's going to help you win. Guess what? Once they're done with you, you've taught them that that's okay. So they're going to go back into the world. And they're going to grow up knowing that that's what you taught them. When I was in high school, my coach taught me every single thing that I am right now. He took me to tournaments when I never had rides to tournaments. Now, let's go straight from the tippy top. He let me come to his house, and I stayed over the night. And that's with other kids, too. This is more than one kid, so he's taking his time out for all of these kids. Buys us breakfast, buys us lunch, buys us dinner, and gives them money. I'm not saying that's what you have to do, but he did all of that and said to do one thing. Well, several things, but all made around one thing. Show up to practice, be on time, make your weight, work hard. Never said nothing about winning. I did that on my own. So think about that. And that guy is the reason why I am the way I am today. Him and a few others, but my high school coach is one of the biggest reasons, one of the biggest inspirations. So all my good solutions is, if you see a problem, try to fix it. Don't ignore it. Don't think that just because they're helping make you money and helping you win, which in reality you're winning if you're helping a kid win more than just in sports. You're helping them win in life. They're being a champion person, not just a champion athlete. So the solution of the day is, what are you doing as a coach that is just that's doing more than just winning numbers, making money? What are you doing for the student that's going to make the student a positive role model and a positive adult tomorrow? Think about that. And if you're okay with doing what you're doing, keep doing it. And you'll always see those bad ones in the news.